Hello viewers, welcome once again to my channel, Israeli Math Concept. In this tutorial, I'm going to take you on the topic undefined expression. If this is your first time of viewing, please kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel and as well hit the notification bell so that whenever I drop a new math content, you will be notified. Remember that this topic, undefined expression, is very pertinent, most especially for students who are in secondary school and also for students who are in higher level of their studies whose discipline is mathematically inclined. All right, on the board I have two questions which I would love to solve before the end of this video. The first question is sourced from WAEC 1994 and that is question number 16. While the second question, that is the B part of the question, is also sourced from WAEC 1991 and that is question number 4, theory part of it. But before I go in detail with solving those two questions on the board, I would love to explain what an undefined expression is all about. For an expression of the form a in bracket x all over b in bracket x to be undefined, automatically b in bracket x should be equal to 0. So whenever you have an expression of this form, for this expression to be undefined, automatically the denominator as part of the fraction should be equal to 0. If you want to prove this, get your calculator and punch any number of your choice. Maybe you punch 5 and then divide it by 0. You will discover that your calculator will give you something like syntax error. If it does not give you syntax error, it might tell you mass error. If it doesn't give you mass error, it might just tell you error. That means this given fraction is not defined. And why is it not defined? The reason is because the denominator part of the fraction is 0. So back to what I said earlier here, for this given expression to be undefined, automatically the denominator part of it should be equal to 0. Let's relate this to real life situation. Let's take for instance in a family of 5 boys trying to share a parcel of land that does not exist. I hope this sounds crazy. 5 boys trying to share a parcel of land that does not exist. It doesn't make sense. But assuming these 5 boys, they have maybe 2 parcels of land they want to share, there is possibility for this to hold. Because this parcel of land that is up to 2 can be shared in a given ratio to these 5 boys. But coming here, how can 5 boys be fighting for parcel of land to share? But in the right sense, there is no parcel of land to share. That means this doesn't make sense. And that is the concept of undefined expression. Remember I said prior that an expression of this form is said to be undefined when bx, that is the denominator expression, is equal to 0. And that is why when you punch with your calculator a given number divided by 0, your calculator will tell you error. Because there is no possibility of 5 boys trying to divide no land. And that is the concept of undefined expression. Alright, let's proceed with solving the questions we have on the board. The question number A says, for what value of x is the expression x squared plus 15x plus 50 all over x minus 5 undefined? So we are asked to find the value of x for which this expression is undefined. Remember I said prior that for a given expression to be undefined, the denominator fraction should be equal to 0. So automatically for this given expression to be undefined, the denominator should be equal to 0. So what is the denominator part of this expression? X minus 5. So x minus 5 will be equal to 0. Such that when we make x the subject of this given equation, x will now be equal to 5. That is adding positive 5 to both sides of the equation, x will be 5. Or you say taking negative 5 to the right hand side of the equation, it will change its sign to positive 5. So automatically for this expression to be undefined, the value of x should be 5. So if you want to check if it's true, wherever you see x in this denominator part of this fraction, substitute it for 5. Then the 5 minus the 5 we have here will give us 0. So you can see that the denominator is now equal to 0. So automatically for this expression to be undefined, the value of x should be equal to 5. That is basically what we are asked to solve for. So we are through with question number 1A. Alright, let's solve for the B part of the question also. The B part of the question says, for what value of y is the expression in bracket y plus 2 close bracket all over y squared minus 3y minus 10 undefined? Remember, this question is sourced from WAEC 1991, and that is question number 4. All right, looking at this B part of the question, there is need for us to reason critically here. The denominator part of this given fraction is a quadratic expression because the highest degree of the unknown variable y is 2. Hence, there is possibility of factorizing the denominator first of all. Then we check for possibility of dividing the numerator with the denominator. Then we solve further. Let's proceed with factorizing the denominator part of this fraction. Then keeping y plus 2 constant, let's then factorize for the denominator. Remember to factorize for this denominator part of the quadratic expression, the y squared will multiply negative 10. And when y squared multiplies negative 10, we have negative 10y squared. Then we look for two factors that when we multiply them together, we shall have negative 10y raised to the power of 2. Then when we add them together, we shall have negative 3y. And the two factors are negative 5y and positive 2y. Such that when we multiply negative 5y and positive 2y, we shall have negative 10y raised to the power of 2. Then when we add up negative 5y and positive 2y together, we shall have negative 3y. Then taking the first degree of y squared, then we add these two factors, which are negative 5y and positive 2y. Then we are left with a constant negative 10. The reason why I didn't add this negative 3y is because when we add up negative 5y and positive 2y, it will still return us back to negative 3y. So adding these two factors will still return us to this. So obviously there is no need of including it again. Then I group it in twos. Then I have y plus 2 all over the common factor of y squared and 5y is y. So y squared divided by y, we are left with y, minus 5y divided by y, we are left with 5. Then we have plus the common factor of 2y and 10 is 2, and 2y divided by 2, we are left with y, plus multiplied by minus is minus, then 10 divided by 2 is 5. Then simplifying further, we have y plus 2 all over. Since these two terms are the same, we take one of it, y minus 5. In bracket, we also have y plus 2. Then you can see obviously that y plus 2 is common with y plus 2 here. So if this divide 1, and it can cancel out this 1. So we are left with 1 all over y minus 5. Y minus 5. But remember, we are not through yet because we are asked for what value of y is the expression this undefined. So for this given expression to be undefined, remember that from the definition, the denominator of the fraction should be equal to 0. So automatically the denominator of this fraction, which is y minus 5, should be equal to 0 for this fraction to be undefined. So making y the subject of this given equation, we have that y is equal to 5. That is adding 5 to both sides of the equation, we have that y is equal to 5. So we are through with the question. So the value of y for which this expression is undefined is 5. See, if you want to check if it's true, substitute y for 5 in this given denominator part of the equation. Remember, the denominator part of the equation is y squared minus 3y minus 10, such that whenever we see y now, we replace it with 5, and you will see at the end of the day it will be equal to 0. Let's check. Remember, y is now 5, so we have 5 raised to the power of 2 minus 3. Y is still 5, so 3 in bracket 5 minus 10. We are checking whether it is equal to 0. 5 squared is 25, minus 3 multiplied by 5 will give us negative 15, then minus 10, is it equal to 0? Then 25 minus 15 will give us 10, and 10 minus 10, is it equal to 0? And automatically 10 minus 10 is 0, so 0 is equal to 0. So we are correct. For this expression to be undefined, automatically the value of y should be equal to 5. So this is the answer. This is basically how to solve for a question related to undefined expression. Thank you for viewing. Thank you for watching. Remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Israeli Maths Concept, and as well to hit the notification bell so that whenever I drop a new math content, you'll be notified. Bye bye.